Hey guys, Anthony here. So today I just want to talk about the different niches that you can build where you're looking at AI voice agents and basically how it differs from like if you're choosing one that's very competitive or versus one that's very niche, right? So let's just take real estate for agents for an example. Obviously, real estate, the market is going to be very large, so it's also going to be very competitive. And on the other hand, something like locksmiths or tow truckers or like I don't know, like water companies, things like that, it's going to be a smaller total addressable market, but it's also going to be less competitive. So really, at the end of the day, it's pretty much equal, right? Because if you have a niche that's larger but more competitive versus one that's less competitive, but there's less people in it, it's pretty much the same. So really at the end of the day, it comes down to two things. Number one, it comes down to your skill level. Which niche are you more familiar with? If you have a family that's HVAC, you might be working in HVAC all day long. You might have a lot of knowledge with that. Okay. And number two, also your network, right? So let's say you have a family of HVAC people, like I was saying, to just start with that, start with HVAC, build for them. And then once you already have like, two or three agents in that niche, then you're already pretty much an expert, right? And you could choose to niche down further and get really, really good at that. Or if you want, you can start to branch out and, try to contact people from other industries. That's just up to you. Really the most important part is just getting your, first one or two clients. So real quick, I just want to go and actually just build one for the locksmith niche and basically show you how easy it is to do that. So when you're getting started with these things, you're going to need a platform for developing your AI voice agent. The one that I use is VAPI. It's extremely easy to do. It says that it's for developers, but honestly, I think it's just for everybody. It's extremely user-friendly. It's really not that hard to do. Okay. And second of all, you're going to need a platform for developing your automated workflow. For me, the easiest one is AnyDen. It's extremely clean, easy to use, and the one that I found works best. So go ahead and let's get started with VAPI. So by the way, you guys can get started for free using the links in the description. So go to VAPI and you're going to see these three tabs: assistants, tools, and phone numbers. And those are the three that we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and create our first assistant. We can name it whatever we want. I guess in this case, we'll just name it Locksmith. Okay. And once we've created the assistant, we're going to be able to create some settings. So the one that I like to use the most is 4.1 mini. And basically what this is just a AI model that's provided by a company called OpenAI. They're the company that makes ChatGPT, which you've probably heard of. Okay. And the next setting that we can change is the first message mode. This one is going to be the assistant speaks first with model generated message and I'll tell you why. It's just basically like later in the system prompt, we can basically write our first message. So it's easier to just use this one. Now, what is a system prompt? System prompt is basically a set of instructions that we're going to give to our AI voice agent so that it knows exactly what to do. If you just make a really small sentence like this, it's not going to have enough detail and it's not going to be able to do it correctly. So it just takes a lot of testing, a lot of writing, and just a lot of time to get this correct. So I've already spent all the time to do that, so I'm going to get the information from my Skool community. It's going to be a file called, I think it's called assistant prompt locksmith. So go ahead and open that up, Control A, Control C to copy, Control A, Control V to paste it, publish. And hitting publish just saves it, okay? And so basically what we're doing here is we're giving a set of instructions. We're saying, okay, well, here's the name of the business, and this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be basically trying to schedule an appointment when somebody calls in, and the appointment is going to be for a service appointment, which will last 15 minutes. And this is basically going to be a receptionist for a locksmith company. Okay. So after we've set up our assistant, what we need to do is we need to give it some tools so that it knows exactly what to do and how to do it in order to accomplish this goal of setting the appointment. So let's go ahead and go over to the tools tab. We're going to create a tool. As you can see, there's a lot of different choices, but personally, I like to use custom tool because that just gives you the most flexibility and the most customization. So go ahead and click on that. The first tool that we're going to need is a tool called checkAvailability. And this will allow us to check the availability of a Google Calendar to see which times are available for a technician to go out and basically service somebody who needs their lock fixed. Okay. So, and we can skip all this. And basically the next thing that we're worried about is the parameters. Now, what are the parameters? Parameter is basically a description about what this tool is and what exactly we need to use the tool. So easiest way to do this is click on Visual Editor, then go to the files that you downloaded from my Skool community. It's going to be called checkAvailability.json. Go ahead and copy and paste. Okay. Once you paste it, go ahead and apply, and then you can actually uncheck this so that you can see what it looks like. So really with this tool, what we're trying to search for is an initial search date and time. Basically, the point of this is we want to search for a time so that we can see, we can basically have a time between which we can check for availability. So let's say, for example, that I'm trying to look for availability next Monday. Then what'll happen is I'll do a search at the beginning of Monday to the end of Monday. So basically that 24 hours is when I'm going to be looking for availability. Okay, so we'll just hit save. Then we're going to create our next tool, which is going to be called bookAppointment. So go ahead and copy this. It's going to be called bookAppointment. Go ahead to click on Visual Editor and paste this in. And this is, by the way, this is just some code, but it basically results in, I'll show you, no code, which is basically this. And it says what we're trying to collect here is the client's name so that we know what to book their appointment as in the Google Calendar. We're also going to need a start time, which is basically going to be the start time of the event in the Google Calendar and the end time of the event in the Google Calendar. And so basically what it is if you look at the start time description, it's saying the exact start date and time for the appointment. And then ISO 8601 format is just this string that makes it really easy for us to convert to an actual time. In this case, it looks like it's saying July 15th, 2025. And then the time here, which I think is 2:30, and then -5 is going to be the time zone. So you don't have to really understand this. All they need to understand is that this is a time format, which translates to an actual time that we know and we know how to understand. So go ahead and hit save, and that's finished. So the last tool that we're going to create is something called qualifyLeadLocksmith. So go ahead and copy this. qualifyLeadLocksmith. Parameters, apply, and check. And so here we're looking for the type of the lockout, right? Is it going to be a car, a home, or a business lockout, or anything else as well? And we're going to look for the service address. And that's basically going to say, well, what type of lockout is it and where you're located so that we can go out and fix it for you. Okay, so that looks good. Go ahead and hit save. Now we need to go back to our assistants so that we can assign these tools to that assistant. So scroll down to the tools section and then select the tools. And here, since we only have 3 tools that we just created, you can just hit select all, and you can just hit Control S. Makes it easy to save without having to bring your mouse all the way over here and hit publish. So now that is completely done, we can go over to the phone numbers and we can create a phone number. This is completely free. If you're in the US, you get up to 10 for free, and you can choose whatever area code that you want. For today, I'll just choose this because it looks like this has been working for me lately. So, and this is just going to be the phone number that you have created for free that you'll be able to call in order to reach that assistant. So in order to make sure that we have assigned it, you need to scroll down to the assistant, the inbound settings for the assistant. Click on the select assistant and just select the locksmith. And basically what that does is it'll assign to this number, this assistant that we just created. Once that's done, go back and hit save. That is completely done. So finally, the only thing that's left to do is go to the tools and we need to enter in a server URL. And the point of this is we need a way to communicate from VAPI to n8n, which if you remember is the automated workflow that I was telling you about earlier. And that's basically going to connect the 2 technologies so that they can work together. So go ahead and go to n8n, and this is what it's going to look like. And if it doesn't look like this, just go over here and hit create new workflow. And then it's going to look exactly like this. And basically the way that this works is you're going to click and create nodes to create a trigger, and then you can create basically a flow of whatever you want to do, something like this. And then you can edit your node inside and it goes from left to right, input to output. Okay. And then the easiest way to do this is just get the information from my Skool community. So click on these 3 dots, click on import from file, then double click on appointment setter locksmith. And then you'll see something that looks like this. And so the way that this works is it starts with a VAPI webhook that basically it receives information from the VAPI AI voice agent, and it's going to give a tool. And then based on the name of the tool, it's going to route it in one of these 3 ways, where this one is basically getting the availability from the Google Calendar. And here it's going to book an appointment, and here it's going to qualify the lead. So the only thing that we need to do here is, number 1, we need to edit the variables. So go ahead and double click on this one. In the middle here, you can see how you can basically edit the node. And so basically it's saying this is the owner name, that looks good. And the only thing that we need to change here is the time zone. So for me, it's going to be America Chicago. All right. And then number 2 is we need to assign our Google Calendar. So double click here. If you haven't already, it's going to ask you to sign up, create a credential. I'm going to link to that video where I show you how to do that over here. But since I already have it created, I'll just use mine. A calendar is going to be from the list, and I'm going to choose my actual calendar because this is going to be the calendar that we're fetching the events from in order to choose the available slots that are not available. So that's why it's important to choose your actual calendar here. Now, once that's done, the next thing that we need to do is look at how to book the appointment into a Google Calendar. So double click on here. It's going to automatically populate with the credential that you've already created. And then here, we're going to select the calendar from the list. And we're going to choose, in this case, I'm going to choose my demo calendar because if I book it to my real calendar, I'll have to go back and delete it, but I'll just book it into my demo calendar, which is going to do this one. Perfect. And these are already done. And these are basically webhooks that will respond back to our AI voice agent, telling it that it was successful. So all that is left to do here is go back to here and hit active to set it's active. And actually, I forgot something, which is we need to go to the VAPI tool call webhook to get our URL. So double click in here. It's going to be our production URL because basically what this means is once we turn the workflow to active, it needs to constantly be listening to new information. So production URL, and then click on this a couple times to copy it, go back over to VAPI and just paste it in for the server URL for each of the tools that we created. So paste, make sure that it saves properly. So go back over here, paste, check availability, paste. Perfect. So that looks like it's completely done. And the last thing that there's left to do is to call this number and then basically talk to it and see if it's able to book that appointment automatically. So
Thank you for calling Apex Lock and Key. This is Elliot. How may I help you?
I got logged out.
I can certainly help with that to make sure I send the right technician. Are you locked out of your home, car, or a business?
I am logged out of my house.
Okay, thank you. Um, and what is the full address where you need service, including the city?
Yeah, my address is 123 Main Street, Los Angeles, California.
Perfect. Thank you for that information. Based on that, the best next step is to schedule a service appointment with one of our certified technicians. Is that something you'd be open to?
Yes.
Excellent. Which day and time would work best for you for the service call?
Yeah, so can we just do the soonest possible time?
I'll check for the soonest available appointment right now. Please give me a moment. Great news. It looks like Sunday, August 17th at 3:30 p.m. is available. Would you like me to book that for you? Great. I can book that for you. And what is your full name?
My name is Anthony Ton, Ton.
Okay. Anthony Ton, just to confirm, I have you down for a service appointment on Sunday, August 17th at 3:30 p.m. Is that all correct?
That is right.
Excellent. The appointment is confirmed and a text message with the details has been sent. A technician will be in touch. Goodbye.
All right. So there it is. As you can see, it created the appointment automatically at the soonest available time, which was 3:30 today. And it correctly got my name correct, it got my phone number correct, and my address 100% correct. So as you can see, it works very well. And I was able to do that in, I don't know what, like 10 minutes while explaining. So it's very easy to do. So if you want to get the information for that, how to do that, just go over to my Skool community, click on YouTube, and then click on the post I'm going to make and click on the files and just hit download. Okay. If you have any questions, go to the one-on-one support tab. You can ask whatever question that you need, and I'll make sure that you get the help that you need. And like I said earlier, if you're just trying to learn, check out my free 1-hour masterclass where I basically build an AI voice agent for one of my students who landed a client from 0 to 100 in 1 hour. So if you like that kind of video, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.